Yeah, a couple of blokes re-signing Mitch and Matto. Firstly, on Mitch, can you tell us about his progression, what he's like now compared to when he first came to the club?
Yeah, look, it's great news for the club. It's great news for the two boys as well, individually. Just seen Mitch mature in his performances, and he's becoming more reliable. Like on a week-to-week basis. It's a tough position that he plays. All the pressure falls on his shoulders, win or loss. It's just that what goes with that position, and especially at such a big club like ours, and we've had quite a few good halfbacks before Mitchell, and so the pressure there is greater, and he's just maturing every year, every session, every game, and so it's really excited and happy for Mitch.
And you obviously believe he is the halfback that can take the club to a grand final win?
Oh, look, every club wants to be playing and winning grand finals, so I don't need to heap any more pressure on Mitch that's needed, but he's the halfback that we need to take us forward, yeah.
What about as a figure amongst the playing group here? How popular is Mitch, and what type of stuff does he do around here that we don't see?
Oh, look, him and Gutho, they're the loudest, I suppose, here. The jokers, but they train really well, and that's one thing I have seen in Mitch's game since he's been here. Just his level of professionalism has grown, and accountability, holding himself accountable, being comfortable to hold other people accountable and have that voice. But he's got better at like what he says, he actually holds himself to account with as well, and that helps with respect of your teammates.
And then Ryan Madison, obviously, what do you like so much about him?
Again, Matto's professional. He's really good for our young blokes in terms of if he's got a strong opinion on how you should lead your life or carry yourself. He's not afraid to have those conversations with different people, but he does it in his way, and he does it on his terms in regards to being private with it. But so he's a really good influencer on our young blokes about what professionalism is, and how they should carry themselves.
That these big name players are re-signing here, does it give you faith that you and the coaching staff and the club is on track?
Oh, look, we've got better, and we need to continue to get better. We all have every club has the same ultimate goal, and at the moment, we're just focusing on trying to make sure that we're a good team every single week. And last week we weren't a great team. I can handle us losing games of football, but not in the manner that we did last week, and we just didn't play as a team. But we've moved on from that, and we get the opportunity against another very good team tomorrow.
Was that a bit of a reality check last week?
I don't know if it's a reality check. We know where we sit in the competition, and where we sit as a group, but the reality is you need to have 17 people contribute every week, because it's hard to win NRL games one week, let alone every week. And if you don't have 17 contributors or 17 blokes owning their job, it makes it even harder, and we didn't have that last week.
Just on those blokes re-signing too, it must be good for you, must feel a bit better as well, just to know that it's there and they're definitely at the club moving forward.
Yeah, it's comfort, but we don't want to get comfortable. We've got a group that we've put together and worked hard to try and keep together, and having experience in the team, and blokes that are know the systems and how we want to play, what we stand for, what our expectations are. Just having that consistency of the same group helps, but it's always nice to just to keep freshening your squad as you go and adding to it. We don't want to get comfortable in that aspect either.
And you've stuck with the majority of the same side this week from last week too?
Yeah, the only one, Reg's out and Murata's back. Yep.
South Sydney wasn't their greatest performance, by a long stretch last week. Do you expect they'll be out to prove a point?
Yeah, look, I don't think you can read too much into what happened last week in many of the games. I think every week's a new week. Every team that you play has got different motives or in a different situation. What I do know about South is they're a very good footy team who attack really well, so we're going to have to defend really well.
Teams have been exploiting that right edge a little bit on your guys' defence. Is that something that you guys are fixing up to,
Yeah, well, it hasn't happened all year. It was one game, and it was last week, and we got a few things wrong. And like I said, it's unfair to single out the right edge because there was 17 blokes who didn't do their job. And if you got blokes not doing their job, somewhere he's going to get pulled apart. So, it wasn't great last week, but it's unfair to single the right edge out for 1 week.
There's all the hype around Jake and his debut and that great win, sort of crashed back to earth last week. Not, obviously wasn't just his fault. But what's your messaging been to him this week and after last week's result?
Well, it's NRL. It's tough every week, and he's got to dust himself off and get ready to go again this week.
I was just going to say Jacob's back in the mix at 5'8" again, so another chance for him to improve.
Yeah, it's getting used to the weekly grind, week to week. It's like I said, it's hard to win 1 week, let alone 2 and 3 weeks in a row. So it's just part of development for young players and getting used to the speed and the physicality of it. And